Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle, despite working twice as hard? The answer might be hiding in the most unexpected place: your sleep. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. What if I told you that those 7 to 8 hours when your eyes are closed could be the most crucial time for your financial future? It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? Yet neuroscience is revealing something extraordinary about our sleeping minds that the wealthy have intuitively understood for generations. Every night, as you drift into slumber, your brain enters a unique state where it becomes exceptionally receptive to new programming. During this critical window, the subconscious mind, responsible for 95% of your financial decisions, is working overtime, either reinforcing limiting money beliefs or planting the seeds of abundance. Which program is running in your mind tonight? Has this ever happened to you? You set ambitious financial goals, create detailed plans, work diligently during the day, yet somehow find yourself facing the same money challenges month after month, year after year. The disconnect between your conscious efforts and your results might be explained by what's happening during your sleep cycles. The relationship between sleep and wealth creation goes far beyond just feeling rested. Deep in the recesses of your sleeping brain, neural pathways are being strengthened or weakened. The thoughts you entertain right before bed become powerful instructions to your subconscious, literally rewiring your money mindset while you dream. Prosperity coaches and financial psychologists have discovered that sleep quality directly correlates with income potential. It's not just about quantity. It's about strategically using those pre-sleep moments to redirect your financial trajectory. Wealthy individuals aren't just sleeping differently, they're approaching bedtime with intentional practices designed to program abundance. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover might completely transform your approach to wealth creation. The most successful people aren't necessarily working harder during waking hours. They're significantly more strategic about their sleeping hours. Imagine having a method to reprogram your relationship with money that requires no extra time in your day, no complicated techniques, and can be implemented starting tonight. A method that works with your brain's natural processes rather than against them. The invisible barrier between you and financial abundance might be dissolving every night, right as your head hits the pillow. Science confirms that sleep is not merely a period of rest, but a threshold for transforming your economic reality. Experts call the state between wakefulness and sleep the hypnagogic state, where your mind becomes extraordinarily receptive to any information you feed it. This magical twilight of consciousness is when your brain switches from beta waves to alpha waves, creating the perfect gateway for new programming. It's in this liminal space that real wealth transformation can begin. Join our conscious wealth community by subscribing. We're exploring the connection between inner mindset and outer abundance together. Think about it. We spend roughly a third of our lives asleep. That's approximately 26 years of untapped potential most people completely waste. What if even a fraction of this time could be leveraged to rewire your financial mindset? The hidden truth is that it absolutely can, and the world's most successful individuals have been quietly exploiting this biological advantage for decades. The journey to wealth begins with understanding that your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience. This revelation changes everything about how we approach financial growth. When you consistently feed your mind with prosperity-focused thoughts during these crucial transition periods, you're essentially creating neural pathways dedicated to wealth creation. I'm fascinated by how our ancient ancestors intuitively understood this concept. Many traditional cultures placed enormous significance on the moments before sleep, using them for intention setting and visualization. They recognized that the boundary between conscious and unconscious thought represented a powerful opportunity for personal evolution. Modern neuroscience has simply confirmed what shamans and spiritual leaders have taught for millennia. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the practical applications of this knowledge. The real impact comes from understanding that prosperity programming requires consistency above all else. One night of positive affirmations won't transform your financial situation, just as one workout won't give you a six-pack. The compound effect of daily practice creates the momentum needed for genuine transformation. Behind the scenes of every overnight success is someone who has been programming their mind for abundance for years. When you examine the morning and evening routines of the world's wealthiest individuals, a pattern emerges. Almost without exception, they dedicate time to mental conditioning during these critical brain state transitions. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. What makes hypnagogic programming so powerful is that it bypasses the critical faculty of your conscious mind. During normal waking hours, your brain's analytical functions might reject wealth affirmations that seem too ambitious or unrealistic. I'm not worthy of abundance, or money doesn't come easily to people like me. These limiting beliefs act as firewalls against prosperity. But in the hypnagogic state, these mental barriers temporarily drop, allowing new wealth programming direct access to your subconscious. The decisions you make in these twilight moments to either reinforce scarcity thinking or install abundance mindsets ultimately shape your financial destiny. This understanding revolutionizes how we approach wealth creation, shifting focus from external tactics to internal programming. The most sophisticated investment strategy will ultimately fail if your subconscious mind is committed to sabotaging your success. I've witnessed remarkable economic transformations in people who commit to this practice, from attracting unexpected income opportunities to developing an almost supernatural ability to recognize valuable investments. The results speak for themselves. And the beauty of this approach is its accessibility. It doesn't require special equipment, advanced degrees, or even significant time investment. If you've been nodding along as I've explained these concepts, type "mind wealthy" in the comments below. Now, I want to explore exactly how you can implement this knowledge in your daily routine. Visualizing abundance during these precious moments becomes a blueprint that your subconscious will start to materialize into real opportunities. Subscribe to continue this journey of financial consciousness with me. New insights on rewiring your abundance mindset delivered regularly. A story of a young architect named Elias illustrates how this powerful state can lead to creative breakthroughs. For months, Elias had been struggling with a sustainable housing design that seemed impossible to balance between environmental impact and affordability. His frustration grew until one morning, rather than jumping straight into work, he spent 15 minutes in that liminal alpha state, deliberately visualizing his project completed and successful. Without forcing solutions, he simply held the image of abundance. Communities thriving in these homes, resources flowing efficiently, and problems elegantly solved. That same afternoon, the connection between two previously contradicting elements suddenly became clear to him. The breakthrough wasn't just a technical solution, but a completely innovative approach that would transform the entire project. This revelation came not from strained thinking, but from allowing his subconscious to work unimpeded during that receptive alpha state. What Elias experienced reflects the underlying neurological transformation that occurs during these theta alpha brainwave states. When we consciously direct our attention toward abundance rather than scarcity during these periods, we're essentially rewiring neural pathways that influence our perception throughout the day. This is about more than positive thinking. It's about creating a perceptual framework that allows you to recognize opportunities that were always present but previously filtered out by your conscious mind. The hidden truth here is that your journey toward financial abundance isn't just about external strategies, but about the internal landscape from which those strategies emerge. Most people focus exclusively on tactics, investment approaches, side hustle ideas, or career moves, while overlooking the foundational mindset from which those decisions flow. It's like trying to grow healthy plants in toxic soil. No amount of perfect gardening techniques will overcome that fundamental problem. What makes these morning minutes particularly potent is their cumulative effect. The compound interest of consciousness, if you will. Each morning, practice builds upon the previous day's neural reinforcement, gradually transforming your default perception from scarcity to abundance. Previously invisible opportunities start appearing in plain sight, not because they suddenly materialized, but because your brain is now calibrated to detect them. Dr. Claudia Hammond, a neuroscience researcher studying prosperity mindsets, discovered something fascinating in her 5-year longitudinal study. Participants who engaged in just 10 minutes of guided abundance visualization each morning were 340% more likely to identify entrepreneurial opportunities in their everyday environments compared to control groups. The underlying mechanism appears to be an activation of the brain's pattern recognition systems combined with reduced activity in the amygdala's threat detection circuitry. What's particularly empowering about this morning practice is its accessibility. Unlike many wealth-building strategies that require significant capital, specialized education, or exclusive connections, this approach is democratically available to anyone willing to implement it. The playing field of consciousness is remarkably level. Consider how this practice might reveal hidden dimensions in your own financial landscape. Perhaps there are collaborative opportunities with colleagues you've overlooked, or ways to leverage your existing skills in markets you haven't considered, or inefficiencies in your spending that, once recognized, could free up capital for investments. The revelations don't come from straining to find solutions, but from cultivating a perceptual environment where solutions naturally emerge. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how these morning minutes can be structured for maximum impact, and how you can maintain this abundance mindset even when facing challenging circumstances. The resilience you build through this practice becomes particularly valuable when navigating financial uncertainty or making decisions under pressure. If you're connecting with what I'm sharing about these powerful morning minutes, write "morning abundance" in the comments to let me know this resonates with your experience or aspirations. When the ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras said "knowest thyself," he wasn't just throwing around wise-sounding phrases. He understood what Amara discovered through her own transformative journey, that our deepest intuition speaks a language far more authentic than memorized prayers when we're seeking to manifest abundance. Think about this. Have you ever felt that strange inner knowing that something was right or wrong before your logical mind could explain it? That's your intuition, your soul's native tongue, speaking directly to the universe without the static of overthinking. Neuroscience has revealed something fascinating about this process. When we rely on memorized affirmations that feel disconnected from our truth, our brains actually create resistance. It's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. The brain detects the incongruence between what we're saying and what we truly believe, triggering what scientists call cognitive dissonance. This is where the profound shift from affirmations of desire to affirmations of identity becomes game-changing. When you say, "I want to be wealthy," your subconscious mind immediately reinforces the gap between your current reality and that desire. But when you declare, "I am a magnet for abundance," you're not describing a distant hope. You're claiming an inherent quality of your being. The neural pathways formed when we speak from identity are dramatically different. Identity-based statements activate the prefrontal cortex, the executive center of your brain, creating new neural connections that literally rewire how you perceive yourself in relation to abundance. Amara's revelation wasn't just spiritual wisdom. It was accidentally aligned with cutting-edge brain science. The divine realm of abundance responds most powerfully not to what we've learned to say, but to who we've learned to be. This explains why some people can recite abundance prayers for years with minimal results, while others experience profound shifts after aligning their inner identity with prosperity consciousness. The universe doesn't respond to our words. It responds to our energetic signature. What's particularly fascinating is how this understanding bridges ancient wisdom traditions with modern psychological breakthroughs. Carl Jung called this process individuation, becoming who you truly are rather than who you think you should be. When your affirmations emerge from this authentic core, they carry a resonance that transcends ordinary communication. Now, I want to go even deeper into this hidden mechanism of manifestation. There's an aspect of brain chemistry involved that few abundance teachers ever discuss. When we speak from our true identity rather than from wishful thinking, we trigger the release of certain neurotransmitters that actually enhance our perception and recognition of opportunities around us. It's like switching on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what was always there but remained invisible before. This explains why people who make this identity shift often report a sudden influx of lucky coincidences and unexpected opportunities. They haven't changed the external world. They've altered their brain's filtering system to notice what aligns with their new identity. This revelation exposes the fundamental flaw in how most abundance work is taught. We've been trained to focus on changing our external circumstances when the real alchemy happens in the internal landscape of our identity. The journey isn't about getting something new. It's about revealing what was already there by becoming someone new. If any of this resonates with the experiences you've had in your own manifestation practice, write "identity shift" in the comments below. Now let's explore how this understanding transforms the practical application of abundance principles in ways most teachers never address. Through affirmations, you can create neurological circuits that wire your brain for abundance. Each time you repeat a positive statement about your financial reality, you're essentially forging new neural pathways. Think of it as creating a well-traveled road in your mind. The more you use it, the easier it becomes to travel down that path automatically. What makes this practice so powerful is that your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing in reality and what you're vividly imagining. This is the hidden mechanism behind the effectiveness of affirmations. When you consistently affirm, "Money flows to me easily," your brain begins to operate as if this statement is already true, subtly shifting your perception and decision-making. Take Saul's journey as a powerful testament to this approach. 3 years ago, he was buried in debt, working a job he despised and constantly stressed about money. His internal dialogue was filled with phrases like, "I'll never get ahead," and "rich people are just lucky." His financial reality reflected these deeply held beliefs. The turning point came when Saul committed to transforming his relationship with money from the inside out. He began with simple daily affirmations. "I am worthy of abundance," and "I attract financial opportunities easily." At first, it felt mechanical, even foolish, speaking words that seemed so disconnected from his current circumstances. But the magic lies in consistency. After weeks of this practice, Saul noticed subtle shifts in his awareness. He began spotting opportunities he would have previously overlooked. A conversation with a colleague led to a side project that generated additional income. He found himself making different decisions about spending and saving, not from a place of restriction, but from a newfound confidence in his financial future. The transformation wasn't overnight, but the trajectory was clear. Within 18 months, Saul had paid off his most pressing debts, launched a successful consulting business, and developed an investment strategy that aligned with his values. The most profound change, however, was internal. The constant anxiety about money had been replaced with a genuine sense of abundance and possibility. What's fascinating about Saul's experience is that he didn't just change his thoughts, he rewired his entire relationship with prosperity. This represents the deeper truth about financial abundance. It begins as an internal journey before manifesting externally. The subconscious patterns that govern our financial decisions operate largely behind the scenes, influencing everything from our career choices to our spending habits. This perspective offers a revolutionary insight into wealth creation. Rather than focusing exclusively on external strategies, budgeting techniques, investment vehicles, or income sources, the affirmation approach addresses the root system that supports your financial life. It's like ensuring the soil is rich and nutrient-dense before expecting a garden to flourish. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how these affirmations can be structured for maximum impact. The specific wording matters tremendously, as does the emotional resonance you create when speaking them. Beyond just mechanical repetition, there's an art to crafting affirmations that truly penetrate your subconscious barriers and catalyze real transformation. If you've ever experienced the disconnect between knowing what you should do financially and actually feeling empowered to take action, drop in the comments. I'm ready to rewire my money mindset. This acknowledgement is often the first step in a profound journey of financial transformation. Dario's journey wasn't just about wanting more money, it was about fundamentally shifting how he perceived his relationship with wealth. And this brings us to a crucial distinction that many prosperity teachers miss. Intention operates on a much deeper level than desire. When you merely desire something, you're acknowledging its absence. You're saying, I want this thing I don't have. But intention is the quiet certainty that you're already moving toward alignment with what you seek. It's not wishful thinking, it's decisive action taken first in the mind. This shift in understanding creates a powerful transformation in how we approach abundance. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract opportunities despite having fewer resources than others? They've mastered this internal alignment that Dario discovered through his grandfather's wisdom. What's fascinating about this journey toward abundance consciousness is how it rewires our perception. The world doesn't suddenly contain more resources when you shift your mindset. You simply become more attuned to recognizing opportunities that were invisible to you before. Like adjusting the frequency on a radio, you start picking up signals that were always broadcasting, but that you weren't calibrated to receive. Behind the scenes of many success stories lies this same revelation. Prosperity begins with internal decisions rather than external circumstances. I've witnessed this pattern repeatedly in the lives of people who've managed to transcend their financial limitations. They didn't wait for the perfect conditions to feel abundant. They cultivated abundance as their internal reality first. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how this mindset shift creates tangible results. The science behind this approach is compelling, as our reticular activating system, the filtering mechanism in our brain, begins to highlight opportunities that match our dominant thoughts and intentions. When you establish prosperity as your baseline expectation, rather than a distant hope, your brain literally becomes a more effective instrument for identifying pathways to that reality. This isn't magical thinking, it's practical neuroscience applied to prosperity. Your brain is constantly filtering the millions of pieces of information bombarding your senses every second. What determines which information makes it through this filter? Your beliefs, intentions, and what you pay attention to. Consistently, the hidden truth many miss is that abundance isn't something you chase. It's something you tune into through consistent practice. It's like developing any other skill. Initially, it feels unnatural to claim prosperity when your bank account suggests otherwise, but this is precisely where the journey begins. The tension between your current reality and your intended state creates the energy for movement. Consider how this might apply to your own life. What would change if you approached each day with the quiet certainty that you are a magnet for prosperity rather than someone struggling to attract it? The revelations that emerge from this simple shift can be profound, reforming not just financial outcomes, but your entire relationship with the concept of value exchange. What I find most impactful about Dario's story is that his transformation didn't require any radical external changes at first. The initial shift was entirely in his perception, a subtle but powerful reframing that allowed new possibilities to emerge. This internal journey preceded the external results, which is the pattern I've observed in virtually all authentic prosperity transitions. If this perspective resonates with your experience or challenges your current thinking, write "Abundance is my natural state" in the comments. Now, I want to explore how this internal shift creates a ripple effect that extends far beyond financial matters. Every night during sleep, your subconscious acts as the universe's most sophisticated data processor, organizing, classifying, and reprogramming all your daily financial information. This hidden transformation is why what you think about money before bed matters significantly more than most realize. During sleep, neural reprogramming occurs due to the brain's heightened neuroplasticity, allowing repeated thoughts of prosperity to form physical neural paths. What's fascinating is how these neural highways become the default routes your mind travels when making financial decisions, even when you're not consciously thinking about them. Consider this revelation. Researchers at Harvard discovered that our brains process information differently during various sleep stages. During deep sleep specifically, our minds strengthen the neural connections formed during the day. This means the financial worries or abundance mindsets you entertain before bed get special treatment from your brain's nighttime processing system. This nocturnal journey of your thoughts explains why so many financially successful people maintain evening rituals. They're not just being disciplined, they're strategically programming their subconscious mind during its most receptive state. They understand that the thoughts they feed their minds before sleep become the invisible architects of their financial reality. I've personally witnessed this subconscious reprogramming in action. After implementing a consistent evening routine where I reviewed my financial wins of the day and visualized my next prosperity steps, I noticed a remarkable shift. My decision-making throughout the following days became more aligned with wealth-building principles, almost on autopilot. The mental resistance I previously experienced when considering investments or business opportunities began to dissolve. The barrier between conscious financial education and subconscious implementation is much thinner during pre-sleep moments. This vulnerability creates a unique window of opportunity that most people completely overlook in their wealth-building journey. Think about the last financial thought you had before falling asleep last night. Was it worry about bills, gratitude for what you have, excitement about opportunities? Whatever it was, your brain spent the next several hours reinforcing those neural pathways while you slept. This process isn't just theoretical. It's reinforced by studies in cognitive neuroscience showing that our emotional state during learning dramatically impacts information retention. When you couple financial education with positive emotional states before sleep, you create the perfect conditions for deep subconscious absorption. The implications are profound. Every night presents a fresh opportunity to redirect your financial trajectory. Those who consistently feed their minds with thoughts of scarcity before bed are unknowingly constructing mental barriers to wealth. Conversely, those who intentionally prime their subconscious with abundance are laying the neural foundation for prosperity. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the practical applications of this knowledge. The real power comes from understanding exactly how to leverage these pre-sleep moments for maximum financial benefit. But first, I'm curious. Have you ever noticed how your financial decisions seem to follow patterns that were established in your mind long before the actual choice was made? This is the subconscious at work. If this information is resonating with your experiences, write nightly reprogramming in the comments below. I'd love to know how many of you are recognizing these patterns in your own financial journey. A key moment for reprogramming is the pre-sleep state, when your focus shifts from day mode to a receptive night mode. The ego's defenses dissolve during this transition, allowing prosperity affirmations to reach your subconscious unchallenged. This twilight period between wakefulness and sleep is truly magical from a neurological perspective. Your brain waves slow down, transitioning from beta to alpha and eventually theta waves. This natural gateway to your inner operating system opens for approximately 15 to 20 minutes each night, creating a perfect opportunity for transformation that most people completely overlook. Think of your subconscious as fertile soil during this time. Whatever seeds you plant, whether abundance or limitation, will grow throughout your sleep cycle. The stories you tell yourself as you drift off aren't just idle thoughts. They're programming instructions for your life's trajectory. When you understand this hidden mechanism, you gain access to a powerful daily reset button for your prosperity settings. I've discovered through years of practice that keeping your affirmations simple yet specific yields the best results. Complexity creates resistance, while clarity builds momentum. Phrases like, "Money comes to me easily and frequently," or "I recognize and seize profitable opportunities everywhere," bypass the conscious mind's typical objections when delivered during this receptive state. The journey to financial abundance isn't just about external strategies. It's an inside job that requires aligning your subconscious beliefs with your conscious desires. Many driven professionals experience frustration precisely because these two systems operate at cross purposes. They work harder externally while unknowingly sabotaging their efforts through internal programming that runs counter to their goals. What's particularly fascinating about this pre-sleep reprogramming approach is how it creates a compounding effect. Each night builds upon the previous one, gradually shifting your perception filters. You'll begin noticing opportunities that were always present but previously invisible to you. This perceptual shift represents the bridge between visualization and manifestation that many prosperity teachings miss entirely. Clients often report that within 3 to 4 weeks of consistent practice, they experience synchronicities that seem almost mystical. Unexpected business offers, creative money-making insights, or valuable connections appearing seemingly out of nowhere. But there's nothing supernatural about this process. You're simply aligning your conscious intentions with your subconscious operating system, creating a powerful coherence that naturally attracts resources. The real revelation comes when you recognize that prosperity isn't just about accumulating money, it's about cultivating an abundance mindset that permeates every aspect of your life. Financial flow is merely one expression of this broader energy pattern. When your subconscious fully embraces abundance, you'll notice improvements in your relationships, creativity, health, and overall well-being, all interconnected aspects of true wealth. Another crucial insight: this pre-sleep programming works most effectively when paired with daytime awareness. And practices. Throughout your day, notice when scarcity thoughts arise. Don't fight them, simply observe them with curiosity. This mindful recognition creates space between you and the limiting belief, weakening its grip on your decisions and allowing your new prosperity programming to take stronger root. Now, I want to go even deeper into how these subconscious beliefs directly impact your financial decisions in ways you might not realize. Many people misunderstand the relationship between conscious intention and subconscious programming, focusing too heavily on willpower rather than addressing the root operating system that truly governs their relationship with money. If you're resonating with what I'm sharing, write in the comments, "I'm ready to reprogram my prosperity code," and let me know which aspect of this approach intrigues you most. Our minds work much like architectural blueprints when it comes to wealth creation. Think about it. Before building a skyscraper, architects don't just start stacking materials. They create detailed plans that account for every beam, window, and electrical outlet. Your dream state serves as the drafting table where these wealth blueprints take form without the critical limiting voice that dominates your waking hours. When you're asleep, your unconscious mind continues working on solutions and possibilities that your conscious mind might dismiss as impossible during the day. This nocturnal architect within you doesn't recognize the boundaries and limitations you've accepted as truth. It sees only potential and pathways. I've witnessed remarkable transformations in people who've learned to harness this power. Take Maria, a client who spent years trapped in a scarcity mindset despite having an objectively good income. Her conscious thoughts constantly reinforced the idea that there's never enough. But when she began deliberately programming her dreams with abundance imagery before sleep, something shifted. Within months, she not only changed how she handled her existing resources, but discovered entrepreneurial opportunities her former mindset would have never recognized. This brings us to the garden allegory, which perfectly captures the cultivation aspect of this practice. Imagine your mind as a garden that's been overrun with weeds of scarcity thinking. These weeds didn't appear overnight. They grew gradually through repeated thoughts and experiences that reinforced limitation. The nighttime gardener within you possesses tools your daytime self often neglects. The soil of your subconscious is incredibly fertile. Whatever seeds you plant there, abundance or scarcity, possibility or limitation, will grow with remarkable vigor. Most people unknowingly plant seeds of financial worry and limitation right before bed, reviewing bills, stressing about expenses, or comparing themselves to others. Then they're surprised when their mental garden produces more of the same restrictive patterns. The transformation begins when you deliberately choose different seeds to plant. This isn't magical thinking, it's neuroscience working in your favor. By introducing specific wealth-oriented visualizations as you drift towards sleep, you're essentially performing deep cultivation work in your mental landscape. What makes this practice particularly powerful is the multiplier effect. Your nighttime gardening doesn't just affect your dreams, it fundamentally alters how you perceive opportunities. During your waking hours, you'll begin noticing possibilities for abundance that were always there but remained invisible to your scarcity-programmed perception filters. Consider how a garden transforms not in dramatic overnight changes, but through consistent care and attention. The same patient persistence applies here. Some people abandon this practice after a few nights, expecting immediate financial windfalls. That's like planting seeds and digging them up the next day to check if they've grown. The real revelation comes in understanding that prosperity isn't just about external circumstances. It's primarily about internal permission. Many people subconsciously believe they don't deserve abundance, and this hidden belief sabotages their efforts regardless of strategy or opportunity. Dream programming bypasses these self-imposed limitations, creating new neural pathways that literally change what you believe is possible for your financial future. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how these nighttime practices create measurable changes in your waking decisions. The transformation isn't just abstract, it manifests in specific behaviors that directly impact your financial reality. The journey from scarcity to abundance leaves visible footprints in your daily choices. If you're resonating with this approach to wealth transformation, write "Nighttime Gardener" in the comments, so I know you're connecting with these concepts. Dreams don't just appear randomly during our sleep. They're powerful messengers that often reveal our deepest financial truths through a symbolic language that our conscious mind might otherwise resist. When we pay attention to these nocturnal visions, we're actually tapping into a form of wisdom that transcends our everyday thinking. What's particularly fascinating about dream symbolism is how personal it becomes. While water might universally represent emotional currents, your specific relationship with water, whether you're swimming confidently or struggling against powerful waves, reveals your authentic relationship with the flow of abundance. These symbols bypass our logical defenses and speak directly to our subconscious understanding of wealth. The journey toward financial clarity often begins before we even close our eyes. I've discovered that practicing gratitude as you drift into sleep creates a profound transformation in your dream landscape. This isn't just positive thinking. It's about deliberately changing your energetic frequency. When you catalog the day's moments of abundance, whether they were monetary or simply experiences of joy, you're essentially tuning your consciousness to recognize prosperity. This practice creates a bridge between your waking mindset and your dream state. Your brain begins searching for evidence of abundance rather than scarcity, and this shift ripples through your subconscious. Dreams then become fertile ground for financial revelations rather than manifestations of money anxiety. The hidden truth many miss is that dream interpretation isn't about finding universal meanings in a symbol dictionary. It's about developing a personal relationship with your dream world. That recurring symbol of finding money or losing your wallet isn't random. It's speaking your unique financial language. When you begin recording these symbols consistently, patterns emerge that reflect your deepest beliefs about prosperity. What's particularly powerful about this approach is that it bypasses the logical mind's resistance to change. Your conscious thoughts might cling to limiting beliefs about money, but dreams reveal what lies beneath, both the fears holding you back and the potential pathways forward. This is why dream work can catalyze financial breakthroughs when other approaches have failed. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic and explore how specific dream symbols can be decoded to reveal your relationship with abundance. Your dream landscape contains remarkably accurate representations of your money mindset. For instance, dreams of tight, enclosed spaces often reflect feelings of financial constriction, while dreams of expansive vistas might indicate your readiness to embrace greater abundance. Houses in dreams frequently represent our sense of security and foundation. The condition of the house, whether it's crumbling, being renovated, or standing strong, can mirror your perception of your financial foundation. Pay particular attention to which rooms you find yourself in during these dreams. Kitchens often connect to nourishment and how you feed your financial life, while basements might reveal buried beliefs about money. Vehicles in dreams typically symbolize your journey and the degree of control you feel. Are you driving confidently, struggling with the controls, or perhaps a passenger in someone else's vehicle? These scenarios provide profound insights into how empowered you feel in directing your financial path. The remarkable aspect of working with dream wisdom is that it offers a journey of self-discovery rather than a quick fix. As you develop this relationship with your dream world, you're building a connection to your deepest intuitive guidance system, one that will continue revealing insights throughout your financial evolution. If you've been experiencing recurring dream themes about money or security, I'd love to hear about your personal symbols. Write in the comments, "My money dream showed me," and share what insight you gained from your own dream symbolism. Your true wealth may be lying dormant in these symbolic encounters. That mysterious figure who keeps appearing in your dreams. They might be the embodiment of your financial intuition trying to communicate with you. When I started paying attention to recurring characters in my dreams, I noticed a pattern, an elderly woman who would always point toward a door I was afraid to open. After journaling about these encounters, I realized she represented the wisdom I'd been ignoring about taking calculated risks with my investments. This journey of dream interpretation requires patience. Your subconscious speaks in metaphors, not spreadsheets. That ocean you keep dreaming about might represent the vast possibilities of wealth that intimidate you, while the boat struggling against waves could symbolize your current financial strategies, failing to navigate market volatility. Dreams often reveal our hidden relationship with abundance through unexpected scenarios. One client shared a recurring dream where money would turn to dust whenever she tried to spend it. Through our work together, she uncovered a deep-seated belief that wealth was temporary and untrustworthy, a mindset inherited from watching her parents lose everything in a financial crisis. This revelation became the turning point in transforming her approach to building sustainable wealth. The landscapes of your dreams can be equally revealing. Are you constantly lost in mazes? This might indicate you feel trapped in complex financial decisions without clear direction. Dreaming of barren deserts could reflect feelings of scarcity, while lush gardens might appear when your relationship with abundance is flourishing. What fascinates me most is how dreams can forecast financial shifts long before our conscious mind notices the signs. I've worked with entrepreneurs who dreamed of storms gathering weeks before market downturns, giving them the intuitive edge to prepare accordingly. These weren't supernatural premonitions, but rather their subconscious processing subtle environmental cues their waking mind had missed. The transformation begins when you create a bridge between these dream insights and your waking financial decisions. Consider keeping a dream journal specifically focused on money symbolism. What emotions arise during financial dreams? Do certain symbols consistently appear when you're contemplating major financial moves? The patterns may surprise you. Your dream state operates beyond the limitations of linear thinking. It can connect disparate pieces of financial information in ways your conscious mind might overlook. That seemingly random dream about your childhood home's foundation crumbling might be highlighting concerns about the stability of your retirement planning that you haven't fully acknowledged. The shadow aspects of wealth also emerge in dreams, often as threatening figures or situations. These represent the aspects of financial growth you're resisting or fearing. One particularly powerful practice is dialoguing with these shadowy elements upon waking. Ask them directly, "What are you trying to teach me about my relationship with money?" Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how specific dream scenarios correlate with common financial blockages many of us face. Dreams provide not just diagnoses, but also potential pathways forward if we learn to interpret their guidance correctly. If something in this exploration resonated with you, write "My dreams speak money" in the comments. I'd love to hear which dream symbols have been appearing in your financial unconscious. The bridge between our conscious daytime thoughts and the deeper recesses of our subconscious mind becomes most traversable as we drift toward sleep. This twilight state, when we're neither fully awake nor completely asleep, serves as a powerful gateway for transformation. It's during these precious moments that the critical, analytical part of our mind begins to quiet, allowing affirmations to penetrate deeper without the usual resistance they might encounter during waking hours. What's truly fascinating is how the various stages of sleep interact with these affirmations. As you progress from light sleep into deeper states, your brain processes information differently. During REM sleep, for instance, your brain actively consolidates memories and integrates new information with existing neural pathways. This is why the affirmations you repeat just before drifting off can become woven into the fabric of your subconscious beliefs with remarkable efficiency. The journey toward prosperity consciousness reveals a hidden truth about human psychology. We don't simply act according to what we consciously decide, but according to who we fundamentally believe ourselves to be. When someone deeply identifies as prosperous at their core, their daily decisions naturally align with that identity, without requiring constant willpower or effort. This identity-level change is perhaps the most profound revelation in personal development, that lasting change happens from the inside out. Consider how many people struggle against their own subconscious programming. They consciously desire wealth, but unknowingly sabotage themselves through limiting beliefs buried deep within their psyche. It's like trying to sail forward while an underwater current pulls in the opposite direction. The pre-sleep affirmation technique works because it gradually redirects that underlying current to flow in your favor. The concept of neuroplasticity supports this approach. Our brains physically reorganize themselves based on repeated thoughts and experiences. By consistently feeding your mind prosperity-focused affirmations during these receptive pre-sleep moments, you're actually reshaping your neural architecture. Scientists have documented how repeated mental patterns create stronger neural connections, making those thought patterns more automatic over time. I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how different types of affirmations create varying impacts on your subconscious. Not all affirmations are created equal, and the structure of your prosperity statements matters tremendously. Present tense affirmations that evoke emotional responses tend to generate the strongest subconscious imprints. Statements like "I am naturally attracting abundance into my life" carry more transformative power than future-oriented ones like "I will become wealthy someday." This practice isn't merely about positive thinking. It's about rewiring your entire relationship with prosperity. Many people approach wealth with subconscious anxiety or unworthiness, feelings that originated in childhood experiences with money. The pre-sleep affirmation ritual creates a safe space for examining these feelings while installing new empowering associations. Over time, the emotional charge around prosperity shifts from fear or skepticism to confidence and expectation. What's particularly powerful about this bedtime ritual is how it compounds over time. Each night builds upon the previous one, gradually shifting your prosperity set point higher. This compounding effect explains why those who maintain this practice consistently for weeks or months often report not just changed thoughts, but transformed circumstances. The sati, external world, begins mirroring their internal prosperity programming, creating a powerful feedback loop of abundance. If this explanation of how your brain processes prosperity affirmations resonates with you, write neural prosperity in the comments. Now, let me explain how you can immediately strengthen this technique by adding another crucial element that most people completely overlook. Dreams have always fascinated humanity as windows into our subconscious mind. But what if I told you that these symbolic narratives could actually serve as powerful tools for financial transformation? The symbols that appear in our dreams aren't random. They're metaphorical guides trying to communicate important messages about our relationship with money and success. Think about it. Have you ever dreamed about finding money, losing your wallet, or standing in an enormous mansion? These aren't just random scenarios your brain conjures up during REM sleep. They represent your deepest fears, desires and beliefs about abundance and scarcity that might be influencing your financial decisions without you even realizing it. The hidden truth is that our subconscious mind processes information continuously, working through financial challenges and opportunities, even when we're not actively thinking about them. This behind-the-scenes mental activity often reveals itself through symbolic dream imagery that can provide profound insights if we learn to interpret them correctly. The fascinating journey begins when we start actively engaging with these symbols before sleep. This isn't some mystical practice, it's about intentional focus. Try this simple technique. Before falling asleep, visualize a specific financial question or challenge you're facing. It might be about a career decision, an investment opportunity, or simply your relationship with saving money. Hold this question in your mind as you drift off, essentially programming your subconscious to explore this territory. What happens next is where the real revelation occurs. Your mind, freed from the constraints of logical thinking during sleep, begins making connections and processing information in ways your conscious mind simply cannot. The symbols and scenarios that emerge may seem strange or disconnected at first, but they often contain valuable insights about your financial mindset. For instance, repeatedly dreaming about losing money might indicate underlying anxiety about financial security that's preventing you from making necessary investments. Conversely, dreams about discovering hidden treasures could reflect your subconscious recognition of overlooked opportunities in your waking life. The impact of working with dream symbolism extends beyond mere interpretation. When you begin recognizing patterns in your financial dreams, you gain access to aspects of your decision-making process that typically remain invisible. This awareness becomes a powerful catalyst for changing, limiting beliefs and behaviors around money. Many successful entrepreneurs and investors have reported making breakthrough decisions after insights gained through dreams. Thomas Edison famously kept a notebook beside his bed to capture ideas that came during that transitional state between wakefulness and sleep. Similarly, you can keep a dream journal specifically focused on financial symbols and insights. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how specific dream symbols relate to common financial situations we all face. Understanding this connection can dramatically shift how you perceive opportunities and challenges in your financial landscape. The subtle patterns emerging from your dream life create a roadmap for navigating complex financial decisions with greater clarity and confidence. If you've ever experienced dreams that seem to contain financial messages or warnings, write in the comments, "My dreams speak money." I'd love to hear about your experiences with this fascinating intersection of the subconscious and financial wisdom. The reason this distinction matters is that your subconscious mind operates on a completely different processing architecture than your conscious mind. While your waking analytical brain works linearly, thinking through problems step by step, your subconscious processes information in parallel, handling millions of connections simultaneously. This explains why breakthrough insights often arrive when you're in the shower or driving. Your conscious mind has stepped aside, allowing the subconscious network to deliver its conclusions. Dreams provide the ultimate canvas for these revelations, particularly around shadow finance. Think about it. Money is rarely just about money. It's about security, power, freedom, worth, and even love. Yet most of us maintain a carefully curated financial persona. We don't reveal our true feelings about money, sometimes not even to ourselves. Your dreaming mind doesn't respect these boundaries. In the safety of sleep, your psyche creates vivid metaphors that bypass your daytime defenses. That persistent dream about being unable to find your wallet. It might reveal deeper anxieties about financial security that you've been minimizing. The dream, where you discover hidden rooms in your house, could symbolize untapped financial potential you've been overlooking. This is where the true transformation begins. By recognizing these dream patterns, you initiate a profound mindset shift. One client told me she repeatedly dreamed about driving with her foot on both the gas and brake pedals. After working to understand this imagery, she realized she was sabotaging her financial growth, pursuing opportunities while simultaneously holding herself back due to unconscious beliefs about what she deserved. The journey of financial integration isn't always comfortable. Another client described a recurring dream where he'd discover money had been stolen from him by someone he trusted. Rather than interpreting this literally, we explored what it represented. His fear that prioritizing wealth would cost him authentic relationships. This revelation allowed him to address the core belief rather than continuing to unconsciously limit his earning potential. What makes this work so powerful is that it operates beneath the analytical mind. You can intellectually understand limiting beliefs all day long, but until you address them at their root, in the symbolic language your deeper mind understands, real change remains elusive. Consider how indigenous cultures have approached dream work for thousands of years. They recognize dreams not as random brain activity, but as meaningful communications from deeper parts of the self and collective wisdom. Modern neuroscience is finally catching up, revealing how dreaming helps integrate emotional experiences and consolidate learning in ways our conscious mind cannot. The impact of addressing shadow finance through dreams extends beyond your bank account. People report feeling more aligned, making decisions with greater clarity, and experiencing reduced anxiety even when facing financial challenges. One particularly striking pattern I've observed is how physical symptoms often resolve when financial shadows are brought to light. Tension headaches, digestive issues, even chronic pain conditions sometimes improve when this internal conflict is addressed. Now I want to go even deeper into the practical application of this knowledge, exploring specific dream symbols commonly associated with financial shadows and how you can begin interpreting your own dream patterns tonight. The process is more accessible than you might think, requiring no special equipment, just consistent attention and basic journaling practices that create profound revelations over time. If you're recognizing patterns from your own dream life in what I've described so far, write "shadows revealed" in the comments. I'd love to hear how this information is resonating with your own experience. Your inner world of dreams holds fascinating keys to prosperity that most people overlook. When you approach dream elements with neutral curiosity instead of fear or dismissal, something remarkable happens. Those shadowy figures or strange scenarios aren't just random mental noise. They're repositories of emotional energy that, when acknowledged properly, can be redirected toward your prosperity journey. I've noticed in my own experience how facing what initially seemed like troubling dream elements with simple curiosity completely transformed their energy. That old dream, where I kept losing my wallet. Once I stopped resisting it and simply observed it with interest, I discovered it was highlighting my deeper attitudes about deserving wealth. This revelation became a turning point in my prosperity consciousness. Think about it. Each dream element carries symbolic weight that your subconscious understands intimately. When you deny these symbols their rightful attention, you're essentially putting constraints on your own creative and manifestation abilities. It's like trying to drive with one foot permanently on the brake. This inner liberation creates ripple effects that extend far beyond your sleeping hours. The energy you free up becomes available creative capital for your waking prosperity. Many successful entrepreneurs and creators report that their breakthrough ideas came through dreams they took seriously rather than dismissed. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how you can actively design prosperous spaces within your mind. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about creating psychological architecture that supports abundance. When you intentionally construct detailed mental environments filled with prosperity, you're essentially creating blueprints that your subconscious begins working to materialize. These aren't just pleasant daydreams, but powerful programming sessions that reconfigure your prosperity set point. The most effective prosperity spaces contain multi-sensory elements. You're not just seeing wealth, you're feeling the texture of abundance, hearing the sounds of opportunity, even noting the specific scents associated with your prosperous environment. This comprehensive sensory immersion bypasses your logical mind's limitations and speaks directly to your manifestation faculties. I've witnessed remarkable transformations in people who dedicated just 10 minutes daily to this practice. One woman I worked with, a struggling artist, created a detailed mental gallery where her work was prominently displayed and celebrated. Within 8 months, she received her first major commission, almost precisely matching her mental blueprint. The hidden power in this approach lies in its ability to dissolve the artificial boundary between imagination and reality. Neuroscience now confirms that your brain processes imagined experiences in remarkably similar ways to actual experiences. When you vividly imagine prosperity, you're creating neural pathways that support prosperous behaviors and perceptions. This isn't about escaping reality, it's about understanding that reality includes the invisible realm of potential that precedes physical manifestation. Every human achievement first existed as a thought form before materializing in the physical world. Your prosperity follows the same universal pattern. The journey from inner abundance to outer reflection isn't always immediate or linear. Sometimes the universe rearranges circumstances in unexpected ways before delivering your prosperity. Patience becomes a crucial element in this practice, not as passive waiting, but as active trust in the unfoldment process. If you're connecting with these ideas about using your inner world to manifest outer prosperity, write in the comments, "My inner abundance is becoming my outer reality." Now, the interesting thing about this mental architecture is how it gradually reshapes your perception of opportunities. Now, I want to take you deeper into the fascinating connection between lunar cycles and your wealth consciousness. When we talk about new and full moon phases, we're actually discussing periods of heightened energetic influence that have been acknowledged across cultures for millennia. During these lunar events, there's a measurable shift in the electromagnetic fields around us, fields that subtly interact with our neural pathways and thought patterns. Think of your subconscious mind as fertile soil during these phases. The new moon represents a blank canvas, a time when the mind is particularly receptive to planting fresh seeds of intention. Financial affirmations whispered during this darkness carry an amplified resonance, embedding themselves more deeply into your belief structure. Meanwhile, the full moon illuminates what already exists, making it an optimal time to release limiting money beliefs that no longer serve your highest potential. What's truly remarkable about this phenomenon is how it creates a natural rhythm for your wealth journey. By synchronizing your financial programming with these cosmic cycles, you're essentially riding waves of universal energy rather than swimming against them. It's not about mysticism, but about strategic alignment with natural forces that influence human consciousness. The ritualization aspect is equally crucial in this transformative process. When you consistently practice your financial visualization or affirmation work at the same time each evening, you're establishing what neuroscientists call a trigger-reward pathway. Your brain begins to anticipate and prepare for this focused state, making each subsequent session more impactful than the last. It's similar to how athletes develop muscle memory through repetition, except you're training your mind to reflexively think in patterns of abundance rather than scarcity. Consider the hidden truth behind all lasting transformation. Consistency trumps intensity every time. A 10-minute daily ritual practiced faithfully over months will reshape your financial reality more profoundly than sporadic 3-hour marathon sessions. This consistent practice gradually shifts your default settings, altering how you instinctively respond to money situations throughout your day. Behind the scenes of successful wealth building lies this fundamental understanding that your evening ritual isn't just about the words you speak or the images you visualize. It's about creating an unshakable neural foundation that automatically guides your financial decisions when you're not consciously thinking about them. This is where the real power lies. What makes this approach particularly effective is that it bypasses the analytical mind that often sabotages traditional financial planning. While your conscious mind might argue with new concepts of abundance, your subconscious absorbs them without judgment during these specialized evening sessions. This creates a fascinating mental environment where new financial possibilities can take root without the immediate rejection that typically occurs during waking hours. The journey toward financial transformation often involves these subtle revelations that most people miss. Understanding that timing and consistency create a compound effect that eventually manifests as changed circumstances in your external world. It's not immediate, but it's inevitable when properly applied. If what I'm sharing resonates with your own experiences or intuitions about how mental programming affects financial outcomes, write lunar wealth cycles in the comments. Now let me show you how to practically apply these principles in your daily life, even if you've struggled with consistency in the past. The state before sleep becomes a sacred opportunity to mold your mind toward your goals. It's that precious window when your conscious defenses are lowered and your subconscious mind becomes most receptive to new programming. This twilight zone between wakefulness and sleep, what some sleep scientists call the hypnagogic state, is where real transformation can begin. Building a mental home of abundance involves engaging all your senses. You're not just thinking about wealth, you're creating a multidimensional experience within your mind. Imagine actually feeling the weight of prosperity in your hands, hearing the sounds associated with your success, seeing yourself living your ideal life with crystal clarity. When you involve all sensory channels, you're essentially creating neural pathways that make these experiences feel authentic to your brain. This practice isn't merely wishful thinking, it's a deliberate rewiring of your mental architecture. The subconscious doesn't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. That's why Olympic athletes use visualization so extensively. The mind creates the same neural connections, whether you're physically performing an action or vividly imagining it. The hidden truth that separates those who manifest abundance from those who don't often lies in consistency and emotional investment. Many attempt visualization as a mechanical exercise, like checking off a to-do list, rather than approaching it as an immersive journey. The difference is profound. When you genuinely feel the emotions associated with your desired outcomes, you're speaking the language your subconscious understands best. Consider this revelation. Your current financial reality is largely a reflection of beliefs programmed during your formative years. Whether you witness scarcity or abundance, struggle or ease around money, these observations form the foundation of your money mindset. The beauty of intentional visualization lies in your ability to rewrite this programming, regardless of your starting point. Behind the scenes of every wealth transformation is this mental rehearsal, this regular practice of dwelling in the emotional and sensory reality of abundance before it materializes physically. Those who master this understand something crucial. The external world eventually reorganizes itself to match your dominant internal state. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the specific techniques that can accelerate this mental reprogramming process. Think about the impact of creating detailed scripts that you can mentally rehearse. These aren't vague wishes, but precise scenarios that incorporate all the elements of your desired reality. Some of the most successful people in history have used this method to manifest extraordinary outcomes. When crafting these mental movies, specificity matters tremendously. Instead of simply imagining more money, see yourself receiving specific amounts for specific services, feeling specific emotions. Create characters, dialogues, settings, and outcomes with the attention to detail of a film director. Your subconscious responds to precision and clarity. The mindset shift required here involves moving from a perspective of wanting abundance to embodying the identity of someone who already lives abundantly. This subtle but powerful distinction changes everything. You're no longer trying to get something you lack. You're expressing a quality that already exists within you. This internal shift generates external ripples that align circumstances in unexpected ways. What makes this practice so transformative is its cumulative effect. Each night as you drift off to sleep, you're making deposits into your subconscious bank account. These deposits compound over time, gradually weakening limiting beliefs while strengthening empowering ones. The journey isn't always linear. You may face periods of doubt or resistance, but persistence inevitably yields results. If you're resonating with these ideas and recognizing the potential for change in your own life, write in the comments, "I'm reprogramming my mind for abundance." This simple declaration can be your first step in consciously directing your subconscious mind toward greater prosperity. Dream states offer a unique gateway to tap into our financial potential, one that most people never consciously access. When you're falling asleep, your analytical mind loosens its grip, creating the perfect opportunity to plant seeds in fertile subconscious soil. This transition space between wakefulness and sleep is where transformation can truly begin. Think about what happens in those moments before sleep claims you completely. Your defenses are down, your critical mind steps back, and you become receptive in ways that simply aren't possible during busy daytime hours. This is precisely why visualizing your wealth goals during this time can be so powerful. You're bypassing the usual objections and limitations your conscious mind might impose. What's fascinating is how this practice creates a partnership between your conscious intentions and subconscious capabilities. By regularly engaging with financial imagery as you drift off, you're essentially programming your mind to recognize and pursue wealth-building opportunities throughout your day. The beauty is that this happens beneath your awareness. Your subconscious begins working behind the scenes, noticing possibilities your conscious mind might overlook. The journey toward financial abundance involves more than just practical action steps. It requires aligning all aspects of yourself, including the hidden parts that operate beneath your awareness. This alignment creates a powerful internal momentum that propels you forward, often in unexpected ways. I've witnessed remarkable shifts in people who commit to this practice. One client who struggled for years with financial scarcity began visualizing abundance each night. Within months, she not only received an unexpected promotion, but also found herself naturally making smarter investment decisions. The revelation wasn't that some magical force delivered these opportunities. Rather, her entire perception had shifted, allowing her to recognize and act on possibilities that had always been present. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how consistent practice creates lasting neural pathways. Your brain physically changes through repetition. This is the science of neuroplasticity at work. When you repeatedly activate certain thought patterns before sleep, you're literally rewiring your relationship with money at a fundamental level. This isn't abstract theory. It's the biological foundation of habit formation. What most wealth education misses is this critical bridge between intent and action. Information alone rarely creates lasting change, but when you engage your subconscious through this twilight practice, you're addressing the hidden beliefs that either support or sabotage your financial goals. The mind operates much like a garden. Whatever thoughts you consistently plant and nurture will eventually bear fruit. Most people unconsciously plant seeds of lack, worry, and financial fear, especially during those vulnerable pre-sleep moments. By intentionally replacing these with images of abundance, security, and opportunity, you fundamentally alter what grows in your mental landscape. This practice represents one of the most overlooked aspects of financial mastery. While others focus exclusively on external strategies, you'll be addressing the internal foundation that determines how effectively you implement those strategies. The compound effect of this inner work accumulates over time, much like compound interest transforms modest investments into significant wealth. If any of this resonates with your experience, those moments when your thoughts about money seem to unconsciously sabotage your progress, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with "I'm rewiring my money mindset" if you recognize this hidden dimension of financial growth in your own journey. The power of hearing others' stories can't be overstated. When someone shares how they moved from financial struggle to stability, it's not just an inspiring anecdote, it's a blueprint. Each testimonial carries hidden patterns of transformation that our minds can adopt and adapt. This collaborative sharing creates a collective wisdom far greater than what any individual could discover alone. I've witnessed remarkable shifts in people's financial trajectories after they simply open themselves to hearing others' journeys. It's as though their minds needed permission to believe that a different reality was possible. This mental recalibration is subtle but profound, like adjusting the lens through which you view your entire financial landscape. Your subconscious mind is constantly at work, processing information even when you're unaware of it. This silent partner in your financial journey doesn't distinguish between what you consciously believe and the subtle messages it receives through your daily experiences. When you repeatedly expose yourself to stories of abundance and possibility, your subconscious begins to accept these patterns as viable realities for your own life. Think about how many limiting beliefs about money were installed in your mind long before you had the critical thinking skills to evaluate them. Perhaps you absorbed messages that money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy. These narratives weren't chosen by you. They were environmental downloads that your developing mind accepted as truth. The revelation here is that what can be programmed can also be reprogrammed. This internal rewiring represents one of the most overlooked aspects of financial transformation. While most focus exclusively on external strategies, investment vehicles, savings rates, budgeting techniques, they neglect the inner architecture that determines how effectively they can implement these tools. It's like having a high-performance sports car, but never addressing the quality of fuel you put into it. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how your subconscious financial patterns manifest in everyday decisions. These patterns create ripple effects that compound over time, either building momentum toward abundance or reinforcing scarcity. The fascinating aspect is how imperceptible these individual choices can be while collectively shaping your financial destiny. Your relationship with money has been shaped by countless influences: family dynamics, cultural messages, formative experiences, and even random comments from authority figures during your impressionable years. This complex web of influences creates what I call your financial fingerprint, a unique pattern of behaviors, reactions, and beliefs around money that distinguishes your approach from anyone else's. Breaking free from limiting patterns requires bringing these subconscious drivers into the light of awareness. This illumination process isn't always comfortable, but it's where genuine breakthrough occurs. When you recognize a pattern that's been silently directing your financial decisions, you gain the power to consciously choose a different response. This intersection between awareness and choice is where your financial destiny shifts course. What many don't realize is that financial abundance operates more like an ecosystem than a single achievement. Just as a natural ecosystem requires diversity, balance, and interconnection to thrive, so does your relationship with wealth. This perspective invites a more holistic approach, one that honors the complex interplay between your beliefs, behaviors, and the practical mechanics of money management. If you're resonating with these ideas about the subconscious mind and its impact on your financial reality, write "Unlocking My Abundance Code" in the comments. Now, let me share with you some practical techniques that can help you identify and transform these deeply embedded patterns. Fixing your eyes on these states nightly can lead to the creation of sustained prosperity. The nightly power of your subconscious mind offers limitless opportunities for reprogramming your financial reality. When you consistently engage with these powerful mental states before sleep, you're essentially rewiring the neural pathways that govern your relationship with abundance. This practice works because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's actually experienced. Each night as you drift towards sleep, your analytical mind steps aside, creating the perfect environment for these new beliefs to take root without resistance. It's during this twilight state that transformation becomes possible on a fundamental level. What's fascinating is how this practice begins to manifest in your daily life. You'll notice subtle shifts in your decision-making process. Opportunities that once seemed invisible suddenly appear in plain sight. Your internal compass begins guiding you toward prosperity rather than lack. This isn't mere coincidence. It's the direct result of your subconscious operating from a new framework of abundance. Consider the journey of one of my clients, Sarah, who committed to this nightly practice for just 30 days. She began visualizing herself confidently managing substantial investments, feeling the emotions of financial security, and imagining conversations where she shared her financial wisdom with others. Within weeks, she found herself naturally drawn to educational resources about investing that she previously would have ignored. She started making small but significant shifts in her spending habits. Most surprisingly, She received an unexpected opportunity to join an investment group through a connection she hadn't spoken to in years. The hidden truth behind why most people struggle financially isn't about external circumstances, but about the invisible scripts running in their subconscious mind. These limiting beliefs act like silent saboteurs, undermining your efforts regardless of how hard you work or how much knowledge you acquire. The nightly practice we're exploring dismantles these beliefs at their core. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by revealing the specific mental states that create the most powerful impact when practiced consistently. The first is what I call the gratitude amplifier, a state where you intensely focus on appreciating the financial abundance you already possess, no matter how small it may seem. This creates a vibrational match to more of the same entering your life. The second powerful state is the identity shifter. Here, you're not just visualizing having more money. You're embodying the identity of someone who naturally attracts and manages wealth wisely. You're stepping into the mindset, habits, and emotional patterns of your wealthy self, feeling what it's like to make decisions from this elevated perspective. The third state, which works in remarkable harmony with the others, is the solution finder. In this state, you see yourself calmly and creatively navigating any financial challenges that arise. Rather than avoiding thoughts of potential obstacles, you're programming your mind to approach them with confidence and innovative thinking. What makes these states so effective is that they work on multiple dimensions of your consciousness simultaneously. They're not just positive thinking exercises. They're comprehensive reprogramming systems that align your emotions, beliefs, identity, and problem-solving capabilities around wealth creation. The revelations that come from consistent practice often surprise people. Many report that their entire relationship with money transforms. What once felt stressful now feels like an exciting game. The impact extends beyond just finances into relationships, health, and overall life satisfaction. If something in this approach resonates with you, write "Abundance Mindset Activated" in the comments below. Now let me show you how to integrate these states into your nightly routine in a way that feels natural and enjoyable rather than like another task on your to-do list. If you've stayed with me through this exploration of nightly subconscious programming, I think you're already feeling that subtle shift in perspective. This isn't just another financial strategy, it's a fundamental rewiring of how you relate to abundance on every level. I'd love to continue this conversation with you through more videos like this one. If you found value in these insights, consider subscribing to join our community of conscious wealth creators. We're all on this journey together, discovering how our inner world shapes our outer reality. If these concepts resonated with you, leave "Abundance Mindset Activated" in the comments. I'd love to know you made it to the end and are ready to begin this transformation. And if you appreciated this approach to financial consciousness, a simple like helps others discover these ideas too. I've created a follow-up video that dives into the practical application of these nightly states with a step-by-step process. Click right here and let's continue exploring how to make these powerful states work for you.